okay not to be okay sometimes. I hope you know that there's no crime in that. Hello everyone, I'm Favour Osagie. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I'm so excited that you're here. May is usually Mental Health Awareness Month, and this episode of Kulture is dedicated to mental health. We're going to be talking about family mental health. How do we promote mental health in the family and among our friends? Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Like I said before, we're talking about how do we promote mental health in the family and among our friends. And someone might be wondering, want to ask, Favour, how do we start the conversation of mental health for people, family members and friends who don't know anything about mental health? Girl, guy, don't worry, I got you all covered. So now, I'll quickly give a quick explanation of what mental health is all about. Although we've actually talked about mental health in one of our videos, we talked about mental health, what's mental health, the examples of mental health like depression and anxiety and all of that. You can find the link to that video on our description box. So now, for the purpose and benefit of those who are just joining us for the first time, I'll quickly give a quick explanation of what mental health is all about. So now, mental health encompasses emotional, psychological, and social well-being of a person or individual. Mental health determines how you handle stress, your interpersonal relationship, and how you make decisions. I still feel there's a whole lot of grammar. So now, this is what mental health is all about. Mental health is the way we think, the way we act, the way we feel, and how do we see the world around us, because mental health actually affects the way we think, the way we act, and the decisions that we make, and how do we relate to other people. That's basically what mental health is talking about. An example of mental health is we have depression, we have anxiety, we have eating disorder, just to mention but a few. And now we're talking about how do we promote mental health in the family? How do we start this conversation? You know, family is the core that holds every society together. Every healthy society is as a result of healthy family. So whenever I want to talk about the issue of mental health, the first thing I see is family playing a very big and major role in ensuring that every member of their family mental health is being improved. How do they do that? By informing them, by telling them what mental health is all about and the importance of mental health and the reason why every member of your family needs to take mental health seriously. Because mental health is really, really important. The issue of mental health is a serious issue and is really, really important. So now, how do we start the conversation of mental health among family members and friends? Let me get this straight. First off, you don't need a special training to have an open conversation about mental health. You don't need a special, you don't have to be a professional before you start talking about mental health. In as much as you have the knowledge about mental health, you can have an open conversation about mental health. Most time, just talking about it can be the first most important step in understanding where someone is with their mental health and helping them get the support and the treatment they need, if there be any need. So now, before you even have this conversation with your family members, with your friends, you must have noticed the following signs, the things you should look out for before having a mental health conversation among your families and friends. Are you noticing any lack of engagement? Maybe one of your friends or your family member doesn't have interest in the activities they used to enjoy. All of a sudden, doesn't have interest, lack of interest and all of that. Then another one you should look out for too is lack of hygiene and sleeping patterns. You know, someone that used to care about the way he looks, you know, is so conscious of, he pays attention, details attention to how he looks and all of that. All of a sudden, he doesn't pay attention to all that. He have problems sleeping. That's one of the, you should know that there's need to have a conversation about mental health. Then another one you should look out for is lack of communication. When somebody who used to, he likes talking, you know, he likes chatting, all of a sudden just withdrawn. he doesn't have interest in chatting with family, he doesn't want to even participate in family tradition and all of that, then lack of social engagement. Someone who loves to go out, maybe a family member or a friend who loves to go out, all of a sudden just start withdrawing from the public, isolate herself or himself. He doesn't enjoy keeping companies with anyone. You should know that at that point, you should know that it's vital you have the conversation of mental health. So now, how do we start the conversation? The first thing you need to do in starting mental health conversation is to reach out. There's need to reach out and ask if they are okay. Ensure you're not trying to be judgmental, or you just, you want to, before they even talk, you want to start putting all the blame. You can just start with very, very soft tone, like, I miss chatting with you, I miss hanging out with you. And then proceed to ask, is everything okay? Are you okay? Is your job okay? Just, the random things you guys used to do before, and you see that you're not doing all of that anymore. You should reach out and ask, what's happening? How is this going? So by that, the person, there's actually a sign of care, like you care about the person and whatever the person has going on at that point or that particular time in his or her life. Then after you have reached out, the second thing you need to do is to listen. I think many of us have problem with this. We don't listen. We just, when somebody is talking, you're talking, you are eager to, respond. You have to listen. How do you now listen? You have to, there has to be a eye communication, a eye contact, like pay a full attention. You have to be concentrated so that you understand where the person is coming from. There's need to listen because it's so important. So after you listen, what then do? You have to encourage the person. Maybe if the person is having symptom of mental, like what we've discussed earlier, if the person is having maybe lack of engagement, doesn't have interest in associating with anybody, you have to encourage such person the need for help, the necessary help they need to get. How do they go about it? Because you have to. That's why you are there as one member of the family. Then the next thing you need to do is to check in. You need to let them know that you are there to help them, that you are there for them, you truly care about them, that whatever it is, maybe they're already experiencing a mental health issue, that you are there 100% for them. And if they reject, maybe, they didn't accept the conversation at first, you don't have to just give up. No. You still have to, you just have to keep trying. Give it a try over and over and over and over again. Because I feel most at times, the reason why a lot of people don't want to hear or talk about mental health is as a result of the stigma surrounding it. Because of the stigma surrounding it, because of that, a lot of people don't want to have an open conversation, don't want to come out and talk about their mental health. And you as a person, if you have experienced mental health, there's need to share it with your friends and your family. You need to tell them about your experience, because that's a great way. It's also an encouragement, and it could empower them to talk about or open up and tell you the state of their mental health. So how do we now promote mental health among family and friends? We mentioned it earlier during the conversation that you need to learn about mental health. If you don't know much about mental health, there's need for you to learn about mental health. And thank God this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So ask questions, go online, read about mental health. What is the cause of mental health? How can you be of help? So in ensuring that every member of your family have a healthy mental health, there's need for you to learn about mental health. Then there's need to address stress among family. If you have a stressful day, you have to address it. Talk about it with your friends and family. There's a regular proverb that says, a problem shared is a problem solved. If you don't talk about it, you just bottle everything in. How do people know that you have a stressful day or you're having issues with your job? So you need to open up, talk about your stress, let it out. It's important to let it out. Then schedule a family outing. You can just schedule a date for your family. Just go out, enjoy. You can go to the park, you go to the beach, or you go to whatever it is that you guys love doing, where you like hanging out as a family. you can do that, you know, to just make sure that the stress, this can be done on weekends where you don't have a lot of work to do. So just make sure that those heavy extra weights are, you know, laid off and all of that. Then you can cook together as a family. You know, one thing I love about food is food has a way of bringing people together, especially family. You know, when you're cooking, there's, in the process of cooking in the kitchen, there's a lot of interaction going on, and this bonding, that, you know, the bonding is something you can't buy anywhere. So you can cook together sometimes as a family and share dinner together, share meal together, eat together, because food is powerful in ensuring that people come together. It brings people together. Then ask questions about your family and friends. How do they feel? Ask questions about the feeling. Constantly ask that question. How do you feel? Are you okay? It's, you know, it's important you ask this question. And then listen and show empathy. Listen, just show empathy, show support, show that you are there, you care about it. Because I want to let all of you know that you're not alone. The issue of mental health is for every one of us. So we need to promote mental health in our family, because when we have a healthy family, we will have a healthy society. I want to thank you all so much for listening to me on this episode of First Culture, specially dedicated to mental health awareness. And, you know, for those of you who haven't subscribed to our channel, just hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell to get a notification whenever we upload our video. And watch out for our next episode, because we're talking about the red flags and the yellow flag, on how to know that, okay, this relationship you're in is not for you. You need to watch out for that video, because we've talked about the common mistakes singles, ladies and guys make on our previous episode. So watch out for the red flag and the blue flag, because it's dropping soon. And it's a bye from me. I love you all so much. Do stay inspired always with First Culture. We love you. Bye.